I'm going to go through different parts of my Etsy store. So far, I've had a customer tell me that they love the product. I mean, that's some powerful information right there. And as a shopper of Etsy myself, I had no idea. I started an Etsy store. I just opened an Etsy store. I can't believe I'm doing Etsy. I don't know if this is a really good thing or I don't know. I guess the idea of making sure that I'm on all platforms for different customers to find me in different ways is really appealing to me right now. I want to be able to find customers where they're at and then over time drive all traffic to my own website. So I'm going to start an Etsy store. Well, I guess I did. I opened one. It was really easy. I just had to pick a store name, and Ivy Lee is actually really popular apparently. There's a lot of Ivy Lees, so I just chose Ivy Lee Shop. I think that's what I did. Let's see. Oh, I see it. Ivy Lee Store. That's what I did. Ivy Lee Store. Ivy Lee Store is my name, and because I guess Ivy Lee is kind of popular. There's a lot of Ivy Lees. So Ivy Lee Store, and here, let's see. I have no idea about this whatsoever. So we have search, dashboard, listings. This is kind of one of those things where they like say, okay, what do you want to sell? It's the first thing. So I just chose a random picture. And did I already put stuff in here? It looks like I have the one picture. I have a title and the thumbnail. And $13, I guess I put in there, and estimated profit. It looks like $1.69 is going to be the fees. So Etsy takes out a certain percentage. I don't really know a lot of the details behind Etsy, so this is going to be something I'm going to have to dive into, and it's something that I'm not sure I want to give a lot of time to, but I want to do it well at the same time. I don't want to just be on Etsy to be on Etsy. I want to be on Etsy and sell products. So I'll have to figure it out. I started an Etsy store. And this whole time I've been talking, I realized that my hair is a mess. And my room is kind of a little bit crazy. And I had my glasses on and it was glary. You probably couldn't even see my eyes. So I'm really sorry. But I started an Etsy store and we're going to get it started. I'm going to take you along the journey with me of getting it started, of course, and we'll put some pictures up there, the same pictures I use for my Shopify website. And I'm wondering if there's a way to integrate Shopify with Etsy. I think I did a search on that, like a 2-second Google search, and there were some third-party apps that allow you to. I'm not sure how that works, but we can figure it out because going one by one is going to be really annoying. So I wonder if there's a way to just transfer them all over. We'll see. If not, I'll plug them in, which is something I could do anyway because I don't actually have all of the pictures that I used on my website on my computer. They were mostly on my phone and I just uploaded them to Shopify. But when I go to do certain things and I need a picture, I have to go to Shopify, go to the product listing, pull up the pictures, swipe onto the picture that I want, and then download it in order to have the picture to use for something else. So this could force me to get all of the pictures back onto my computer. So we'll see. I will see if I can get all of these put in or if I have to go one by one and then end up saving all of my pictures, which I need to do anyway. So we'll see. So let's see. I have a listing. You can look under performance, about, and it's got all the picture stuff. Looks like you can do some manipulation with it. Well, I guess maybe just cropping. Then thumbnail, description, we already went over that. Price, variations, details, shipping. Oh man, I don't know how to do shipping on this. Figure this out. I can't remember what I was just saying, so I'm moving on. Okay, chemo brain, arthritis, medicine brain, whatever you want to call it. I'm in the hole already, 20 cents, and I haven't even started. I have a listing fee, 20 cents, and then I have the setup Etsy fee of $15. So that's not too bad. Sales, you can look at sales, marketing, fees. Oh man, look at that. We have a listing fee, transaction fee, processing fee, share and save refund. I have no idea what that is. One-time shop setup fee. I bet all of these 6% of the total order is a transaction fee. 6%? Really? Wow, that's a lot. So Fair Wholesale takes 15% commission right off the top. I know that Fair takes 15% commission, as well as it's already wholesale. So you're already giving 50% off to the stores who are purchasing your products to sell in their stores. And they take a 15%. And I think there's even another percent for card charge. I could be wrong. Like a card transaction fee, something like that. So it looks like Etsy, so they take 6%, 6.5%. So they take 6.5% of the order total. It says the whole order. So we'll go with that. And the listing fee is 20 cents per item, charged when you create or renew a listing. So if I say my pin has 50 products, and then when they go out, when I renew it, then maybe when I renew it for another 50, I get charged another 20 cents. Share and save refund, 4% of the order total. So I think what that is if I give a link out to someone, or say on my YouTube video, or I don't know where else I would be putting it, because everything is going to be tied to my website. But if I do give out my Etsy link and then someone orders from there, then maybe I get 4% back. Marketing, we have ads, offsite ads. Seems pretty easy so far. I'm going to go ahead and put in a few items and just see if I can have them up on my store. I am on the Shopify blog, and it says how to integrate a Shopify store and Etsy shop. So you can use Marketplace Connect app. It says if I want to use this particular app, it's going to be $1 for your first month, and then $29 a month after that. $29 is not a lot of money, but when I'm already spending, 30 or more on Shopify, I have a couple apps on Shopify. I have the Termageddon policy subscription. I have the accessibility subscription. I have a few apps that I'm paying for. I have my Canva. I have Adobe. I have QuickBooks. I have my accountant. So many monthly subscriptions. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest using audio and pictures of my Etsy store. I'm going to go through different parts of my Etsy store. That way you can get an idea of what it's like to be on the back end of Etsy. From a consumer standpoint, I think it's cool to see kind of how Etsy would work. And from a small business point of view, I'm sure it'd be really good to see what it's like to have an Etsy store. So here I have my shop manager, and I'm in the listing section. And in the listing section, you see the titles of all your products, as well as the pictures and how much you have in stock of each item and the cost. So let's go ahead and pick one and go into it. So I chose my I Like to Look for Rainbows keychain, and in the listing, I have the title, and I put several keychain keywords in there. And I don't have any apps for my Etsy at the moment, helping with my SEO. When I start to sell more of my children's books and more of my other products, then maybe I can be able to afford an app to help me with the SEO for Etsy. But right now, I'm just starting out. And remember, I am making this Etsy store, so you don't have to. So you can see exactly what it is like for a small business just starting out with Etsy, and then you can decide if you want to do one. So with my keychain, I have a couple of pictures that I added, and these are the same ones that are on my Shopify store. And I have the primary one is the thumbnail. If you click on the pictures, you can edit them, and I think it's really great that Etsy has this. So if you don't want to take the time to fix it on your own phone or in an app or a computer program, you can make a few edits right there in the listing. I think it's really nice that Etsy has this in there. I think that's pretty cool. After you add any pictures and videos, then you put in the description. I use the same description that I have on my Shopify website, and then you can also add in the price and the quantity. If you have different variations for people to choose, then you can add in the different colors for people to pick. I accidentally made a mistake with this. I was picking the colors that the keychains were or the pins were and adding them to the colors. Like, what's the first main color and then the second main color? So I completely made a mistake for the first while I had my Etsy listings up. And so I had to go back and change all of them and delete all of the primary and secondary colors I had put in. Then you can add in a length and any sustainability features that your product may have. I forgot to show it, but if you click on show all attributes, there's an area where you can pick the holiday and also an occasion that your product might match. That would help with SEO. And in the tag section, you can add up to 13 tags for the product listing. This is very, very important. You want to make sure that you get this right. And you can use exact matches, like say rainbow keychain would be something for my keychain. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that Etsy also uses all of the words in the tags and pairs them together. So one tag could be glitter, happy, positive. And all three of those keywords would match up with each other as well as other keywords in all the other tags. So if I used an exact phrase of rainbow keychain, that word keychain could be paired with the other tag. So it would be positive keychain or glitter keychain. And then you have a huge amount of possibilities. So you want to make sure that you fill the tags with as many keywords as possible using things that could be matched together or things that are exact phrases. So you want to have a combination of both. Then you want to go ahead and select your shipping, a fixed price where everything is shipped using one price. Or you can add in the item weight and size for each product. So if you set up an Etsy store, just decide on which one is better for you and for your products. You also need to decide on how your listing is renewed. I just selected automatic because I know I'm going to be selling all those products for a while. All right, let's go back to the dashboard. If you look under the stats, just for the last 7 days, you can see that I had 204 views and 95 visits, and I had 4 orders in the last week, and I made $61, which is awesome, and that is how much the 4 orders totaled. At the very top, you can see that I made 27 sales, and I have a few reviews, and all of them are good reviews, so that's good to start out with. I think that is pretty good for an Etsy store that's just been running for maybe, 2 months. If you go into Shop Manager, there are several tabs that you can click on that help you navigate your whole store. There's a message section, which helps you send messages to people or see who is talking to you. So far, I've had a customer tell me that they love the product. I've had a customer worried about their package not arriving. And I've had 2 people ask me about questions with the products. So far, I haven't had any returns yet on either my own Shopify website or Etsy. So I'm sure maybe in the future that might happen, but so far, no returns, so that's good. So just normal kind of messages, and yes, the person who was worried about their package, it got there safely. And that's a whole nother video, a whole nother topic, because I've been learning that once you put a package in the mail, you have nothing to do with it. So people who are selling things, once they go into the carrier's hands, the shipping has nothing to do with the company. So whenever you're worried about a package, it's mostly the USPS, FedEx, UPS people who you should be talking to, because they're the ones in charge of your package. You know, the person who sells it and shipped it out can look it up, but that's all they're doing is looking it up. Maybe there are some tricks of sellers talking to the carriers, trying to find out where packages are. Maybe there's some things I haven't learned yet with that maybe people can track things down for customers. I don't know, but I haven't gotten there yet. But that's a whole nother video. If you go under orders and shipping, you can see any new orders under the new tab and completed orders on the right tab. And I'm not going to go into the completed orders because I don't want to put any customer's information on there. And did you know, as an Etsy seller, you can click on someone's name and view all of their favorited items. So any item that an Etsy shopper has hearted and put in their favorites, you can see as an Etsy seller. I mean, that's just wild to me. So I can see what any person has hearted. I mean, I feel like that's a lot of powerful information right there. So I can click on someone's name and see all of the items that they like and see maybe what they're leaning towards, what they're trending to, what they like. So, I mean, that's some powerful information right there. And as a shopper of Etsy myself, I had no idea. Okay, side rant over. Now back to the orders. When you do have an order, it shows up here in the middle and it will have the person's name and address and what they've purchased. And you're able to click on it and print out the packing slip. And then you can also, once you put the package together, then you can also click on a little truck icon on the order and then print out a shipping label. And you can make sure in the shipping label that all of the weights are correct and everything is how you want it to be, because you can still tweak the shipping on your end. The customer will have already paid for shipping. It is what it is. But on your end, as the Etsy seller, you can still change the package dimensions, whether it's a box or a padded envelope, and also the weight. So you can still tweak it to make sure that it is correct when you pay the postage, because you don't want to take your package to the carrier and have it not match with the weight and you'll have to pay extra. So make sure everything for your package and weight is correct. Then you can buy the label through Etsy and then hopefully have it printed through a thermal label printer. I always keep seeing this pop up for me. There's always a little badge icon on the search visibility, like I always have something wrong. And I know we don't have amazing pictures, but I'm working on it. So it says I have 3 factors for my search visibility not being great. And the products that you see here, this is all doll hair because I have a friend who has a business called Doll Planet and they have amazing doll hair. And I actually know them in real life. They're friends of mine. And I have the opportunity to wholesale their product on my Etsy store. So I thought that was awesome. And it'll be a win-win situation. They'll get their products out there. I get a little bit of money from it. Customers that want to buy their product will end up seeing my products. And so I just added their products maybe about 2 weeks ago. And so far I've gotten a few sales with it. So that'll be cool to see how that goes. So the computer has deemed that those pictures need to be fixed, and it's telling me all the ways that I can fix my listings. And just with a 1-day shot in the stats section, you're able to see how many people visited your page, how many orders you have, the conversion rate, how much your revenue, shows you the bar graph of everything, shows you how many people have favorited your items, how many people have followed your shop that day, etc. So there are some great stats that Etsy gives you for your shop. They even give you some customer service stats, how you're doing with your orders, your response rate. If you go into the marketing tab, there are several different areas that you can go into to start your ads and setting up sales and discounts. I think as a seller, this is pretty cool because sometimes all it takes is a little bit of a discount to help someone decide to purchase your product. They have different areas to help drive traffic and help you make more sales and more money, because ultimately the more things that you sell and the more money you make, the more money Etsy makes, which makes logical sense. This is their platform. You're just on it for the ride. So they have a place where you can accept offers from buyers, you can run sales, you can bundle your products together. They have abandoned cart discounts where if someone has your products in their cart but they've never checked out, you can send them a discount. There's also a returning customer discount code where if someone purchases something, then you can put a thank you discount code for the next time they make an order. So there are lots of little different things that you can set up for Etsy for discounts and to help buyers make a purchase. If you start an Etsy shop, Etsy explains to you how you can save on your Etsy fees. And one of the ways is by sharing your link and having people purchase directly from your link. So if you are the advertiser for Etsy for your own store, they reward you by giving you 4% of that order total back. There's a place for you to do a little personalization. Wow, that was a long word. In the Finance tab, you can look under your payment account and you can see where the money is going. You can see how much is available for deposit, and you can choose how often your money is deposited. I chose daily, but there's also other options. And you do have to have a card on file for Etsy. Whenever you create a listing, it charges you 20 cents. And if there's any issues with customer orders, I'm not really going to go into that. I don't really know too much that I would want to explain right now, but just letting you know that you do need to have a card on file. And this middle blue section is just letting you know that they're going to hold your funds for a little while. They don't want to have any problems with chargebacks. So they hold your money for a little while so that way there's no refunds or unexpected charges that are made. You can view your monthly statement, which shows you how much you made for sales, how much was taken out in fees, any marketing, and also shipping. And it shows you the dates and all the transaction information on the bottom. Yes, this is my real life actual account. This is a real example of a small business just starting out with Etsy and what maybe you could expect if you start an Etsy. My sales are starting off slow and consistent, but I appreciate that. It's not just one or two and then nothing. It's been consistent, a gentle stream of orders over the last little while, and hopefully it just continues to grow from there. I mean, all it can go is up, right? It can't get any worse. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about starting my small business, and my whole YouTube channel is about starting a small business and what it's like to go through this experience and also become a children's book author. So I'm excited you're watching this video and on this journey with me. I would love it if you could subscribe and hit the like button. It would really help me out to also watch the video all the way through, which if you're probably here at this point, you probably are doing, which I really appreciate. Thank you. Etsy allows you to change your payment settings in case you need to change that. There are a ton of apps that you're able to get to help with a lot of stuff. I've seen Everbee in a lot of places. I've seen a lot of YouTubers show it, and it looks very cool and interesting to help with SEO for your listings and to make them highly visible. But I just can't afford any of that right now. So I'm just starting out with the plain Jane, just doing my thing, and hopefully in the future I can add on some apps. I already have a ton of apps for Shopify, and the subscriptions to everything are pretty much what is hurting me right now. There are so many subscriptions that you have to do for your own website. And with Etsy, it looks like it's probably the same thing. If I really want SEO to be amazing, then I'm probably going to have to pay for these apps. But so far, right now, it's just up. So what I get is what I get. When I start making consistent sales enough to be able to afford these apps, I will, of course, make a video whenever I do that and share what I do and how I do it and how it goes. Here is Etsy's Help Center, and I have not, thankfully, had to use this yet. I have looked a few things up online, YouTubers, Google, ChatGPT, but I have not. My phone keeps interrupting my voice message. Not voice message, my voiceover. I'm sorry. So I haven't had to use the Etsy Help Center, but when I do, here it is. And I'll let you know when that happens, what kind of help I receive or not receive. I'll let you know. So here is the face of my store for Ivy Lee. I just put up on the banner Floral, Faith, and Fun. And it was funny. I just found out that I didn't assign a lot of my products to a category for the tabs for my store. So See here it says enamel pins too. I have way more than that. So I had to go through and fix it because that ain't right. So I went ahead and fixed it. Thank goodness I was doing this video and had to make a screenshot, or else I probably wouldn't have even noticed. So see, we're learning things together as we go along. So hopefully I can make the mistakes for you, and that way when you start your Etsy store, you know what to do and what not to do. So that way when you start your Etsy store, you are much farther ahead than I was when I started. I can't wait for that for you. Thank you so much for watching and being on this blah, blah, blah. Thank you so much for, wow, you know how many times I've had to do this clip? You'll definitely want to subscribe. That way we can keep in touch. You can follow along the journey of how the Etsy store does and how my small business does. Thank you so much for watching and being on this journey with me. You are fantastic. I really appreciate you watching, and I would love it if you subscribe. You can find out about how I started my small business by clicking the small business vlog playlist up in the corner. And I will catch you in the next video. Bye!